Hello, my name is Miss Larn, and I'm going to do my makeup. First, like a person that practices self-care, I have to take my medication so that I can function and actually do things. Even though half the time I still can't do anything, because executive dysfunction is a thing. It's very dumb. Anyway, I watched a video earlier, and I was like, you know, it might be fun to do a video of me doing my makeup. Yeah, for real, yeah. Now, this video, I don't know how long it's gonna be, because, like, I feel like if it's too long, I won't be able to, like, you know, upload it. So, elections are tomorrow. Go vote. I don't really like saying that because it just makes it seem like voting is gonna solve like all of our immediate problems. Like I think that's like actually how some people think. They're just like, if you go vote, all the problems, they'll everything be okay on Wednesday. It's not gonna. I take an antidepressant, and people are like, aren't those happy pills? I'm like, no, they're the hey, I can get up and take my antidepressant every day pills. Remember to drink water, folks. Alright. So, when I'm beginning my makeup process, if my face is clean, which marginally it is, I use this shit first. This is a quick fix, because, you know, like, you gotta quickly fix your face. Because makeup, as Sailor J has said, makeup is for people who need men to like them. I like to use chapstick first because my lips generally are just like, but I don't know where my chapstick is, so it's okay. Another thing I like to do is click my hair into a funky fashion, because my hair generally gets in the way of what I'm doing. Oh my god. Oh god. Hey, that's kind of cool. Anyway, today I'm gonna go. Oh my god. Today I'm going for a look that expresses anyway. So first I'm gonna do the spray. And what you're gonna do, and this is nice because this is a smaller version of this. I like Urban Decay, even though they test on animals. There's really no winning. There's no ethical consumption under capitalism, so you gotta just pick your poison sometimes. Smells, makes your face smell like a coconut smoothie, which, by the way, you shouldn't drink because coconut is actually not good for your insides. After I do this, I might take a giant ass brush like this pretty rainbow poof here, and I might just, you know, just do this because it's fun, you know. After doing this, I have this stuff that I bought with money I didn't have, and it's called Juice Beauty. You know, just shake it up a little bit. Looks a little bit like custard in your hand, and then you just I just slather over my face, because if I slather over my face, maybe my makeup will stay on better. Generally, it does. That's why sometimes when you don't have money and you buy makeup you shouldn't buy, at least your makeup is good. After this, I have to make some decisions. Sometimes the decisions, because of executive dysfunction, mean, oh, I should put my foundation on first. No, don't do that. Well, I mean, you can, but, you know, the fallout from eyeshadow, sometimes, even if it's good eyeshadow, you have to worry about, like, this stuff getting right here, and you're just like, what's going on? So, generally speaking, I got a lot of Ipsy bags, and this is some cool stuff I got in an Ipsy bag a year ago, and I really like it a lot. It's this really healthy concealer, and I usually only put it under my eyes, like so. I only put it under my eyes, you know, to cover up those the areas that come from years of being anxious. You want to cover that up, because if you don't, men won't find you attractive. And then when they find out that you put stuff on your face to cover it up, they're just like, I've been lied to. Who can I trust? And I'm like, oh, you know, you're right. Not like I have to worry about being murdered or anything. Anyway, after you put this on, you pick your poison in regards to eye primer. And for me, whenever I eventually find it, because I oftentimes misplace everything because my makeup desk is always a mess, I use Urban Decay Sin. It's sparkly. Sin, like as in Chihiro from Spirited Away. You put some naivety on your eyes. You wanna like, you know, bring that shit back. You wanna be like, I wanna look like I don't know about climate change. So you put this shit on your eyes, and you can add more. It just depends. You know, for a daytime look, you probably don't want to like do too much because it'll make you look funny. Now, I recently became aware that I should put concealer on my eyes before I do that. So see, again, I just remembered a step that I meant to incorporate and forgot. So I use my fingers a lot if I'm not using brushes, because as an artist, you just, you know, you kind of have the tendency to want to, you know, be heavily involved in the presentation of your face. So I'm just gonna do what I've seen in tutorials, because, you know, really that's where I've learned some stuff. Also from, I mean, really, let's just be honest, I've learned a lot from tutorials. Just watching people put makeup on, because if you don't do that, you'll be very confused about why you look dumb after you put on makeup that you thought would make you look good. You're like, I got things like like this, like fucking naked palettes. You buy one of those bitches, and you're just like, after I put this on, I will look amazing. Which, like, you know, before you really get into makeup, you think that's what's happening. You're like, I look amazing right now. And then when you look at actual people who know what they're doing, you become aware that you did not do a good job and that you don't know what you're doing. And then you're like, oh my God, I've failed. Everything I know is a lie. I try to use a lot of stuff that has sparkles in it, because I really like that shit. Sparkles make me feel like people aren't dying at a fast rate due to their ethnicity or skin tone. And I can, you know, just really, in a way, I'm just, I guess, adding more white privilege to my face so that I can pretend to be like those white women that are like, yeah, but, you know, I just think that it's not about race. It's not about race. Why do we have to make it about race, everyone? When there's starving kids in Africa, and it's like, now I'm probably putting on more concealer than I need to, but it's okay because I'm very distracted. And again, you know, the process of a very executively dysfunctioning person, you know, it's just like you get confused a lot. Well, let's look at my face. Let's talk about these face wrinkles right here. I use my eyebrows a lot. I make a lot of faces like this. I'm just like, and I just, you know, generally speaking, I just try to not think about them as a bad thing, because, you know, I just use my face a lot. You know, especially, I think I spend a lot of time going like that, you know, and that's okay, because the world is very stupid. Everything that happens in it, it's stupid. So you just gotta, like, you know, let yourself experience it facially to fully process it. I'm making this up. After this, we can return back to this shit again, since I did it in the wrong way. And you only put this stuff on the lid. You don't put it on the bottom lid. because it just, you know, it's not really made for that. Even though you do put eyeshadow sometimes on the bottom part of your eye, that's not the goal. Sometimes, since I've been very mentally ill, and sometimes when I'm not employed, and I've had so much makeup for the last 2 years, I will do my makeup to help me feel like I'm gonna get shit done, and everything's gonna be okay, you know? Because, like, first step in, you know, making amends in your own life is, to, you know, to deceive yourself that everything's gonna be okay, even though it's not gonna be okay. After I add my sparkly eye shit primer, I have to decide, what mood am I in today? Sometimes I'm in the mood to be very obnoxious, in which case, this is a good palette. This is the Born to Run Urban Decay palette. I generally tend to go with Urban Decay for eyeshadows, because, in my experience, they make good, decent eyeshadows. You know, when for some people who might not know, you're probably wondering, what makes a good eyeshadow? Is it how sparkly it is? Is it the deep color that retains on your eyes? It's all about fallout, people. Fallout. You don't want to put shit on your eyes and then have it fall off your eyes onto your face, because then you look like you might have been, it looks like you sneezed and then your makeup slid down your face. Which, I mean, if you're going for a surreal look, I mean, you know, like, that's fine. But, like, for people who are at the bank trying to make some sort of transaction, you don't make transactions. People who are out doing things, you don't want it to look like that you're... Anyway, I don't know what mood I'm in today. So, I might just have to pick something out. Now, sometimes you can eliminate, because, like, this is a smoky palette by Urban Decay that is currently, it's discontinued. I got this for, and I only use this around the night times. I mix it with, I don't do browns anymore. That's another important thing to learn about eyeshadow. You have to pay attention to what colors are already present in your face, depending on what kind of makeup you like to do. There's no really right way to do makeup. But for me in particular, I like to go with eyeshadows that I think bring out, that bring out my skin tone in a good way. You know, like when I use browns, I feel very dusty. I feel kind of lackluster, you know? Like it just doesn't seem right somehow. And maybe it does look good, but for me, it doesn't feel like it's making me glow from the inside up. So, I found this. This is Naked Cherry. This is a new one that came out. I really like it because it's just like, you know, it's a lot of nice pinks and burgundies. And I'm probably going to go with this one today. Even though I also have... This is the first one I got. I've had this for like 3 years. That's the nice thing about these. If you don't constantly use them all the time, which, like, of course, doing my makeup every day, that'd be fun, but sometimes you just gotta take a break. For me, like, that's just how it is. I've had this one for 2 years, and it's nice, you know, like, it's held up pretty well. It's a lot of, like, really gold, sparkly browns, so I don't use it all the time either. I use it more for, like, this is more of a nighttime one for me. This is I think of this one as a daytime, more professional palette, because, you know, it's a lot of really boring beiges and stuff. That's why I like this one, because this is like daytime, but with pinks. And I think pink's a lot more fun in regards to eyeshadow. So what I'm probably going to do first, based off all the other tutorials that I've ever seen in my fucking life, is I'm probably going to... First I have to locate the brush that I use for putting down the initial thing. And see, my problem is that when I pick my brushes up, then I put them down somewhere, and then I don't know where they are anymore. What I'm going to do is I pick a very dark color to go in first. Now, I still haven't really made up my mind about what color I want to use, or what sort of theme I want. And that's frustrating, because usually I have an idea way beforehand. But this time, I don't. And that means I should just make myself go with it. Oh, and this is another one I have. This is cute. Was kind of an impulse buy at one point, but it's nice because it's more. It smells like candy. This is by Tarte. It has a nice. It's very sparkly. I think I use this more for accent work, even though they do have some matte eyeshadows in there. I think I use that more for for accenting, because it's a lot, and I try. For me, I try to mix the best of both worlds, being very loud and colorful and very gay, with being approachable and looking serious. So today I'm thinking I'm gonna mix. Sometimes I definitely mix palettes. It's kind of like, it's just like painting. You got a bunch of paints. You kind of put out which ones you want to use. You set them out, which I have them both open in front of me right now. And then I'm probably just gonna kind of go boop, 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 boop. So I'm thinking that a little bit of orange and pink would be very fun today. So I'm probably gonna start with this color. It's called Devilish on the cherry. And I take it like so. I pack this brush. This is like a very basic eyeshadow brush, and it's really good because what you want to do is you're gonna put it right here in the corner. You're just gonna pack it right here. In my experience, this is a really great way to start your excursion into your eyeshadow for the day, because you pack it right there, like so, and it looks funny. You're just like, what the hell are you doing? And it makes you look kind of funny for like 5 minutes, and you're like, then you take a brush like this. Is another nice thing about the naked palettes is that they always come with double-sided brushes, and some have like the little tiny crease brushes on the end, and sometimes they have these nice, like I use this one a lot. Like I have 2 of these, and then they have like an okay kind of spreading brush on that end. So what I'm thinking about doing right now is going in with this, it's called Still Shot on the Born to Run palette, and it looks a little, you can't, and I'm gonna go in like this. I'm gonna kind of blend it forward, and then I'm, just kind of bring it around town, like SpongeBob would say, and I keep, using my chosen color until I am, until I feel like it's been spread around evenly. Now it's gonna look really intense before you blend it, and there are brushes for that. And by the way, a lot of my brushes are by Elf. Elf makes really good, cheap, affordable brushes that work. Like my favorite brush, honestly to God, is this blending brush right here. I've had it for 3 years almost. It's very good. Really like it. It does what it needs to do. There are other types of brushes for blending. I think sometimes I end up using one brush and just trying to angle it in different ways, and I forget that it's like, Lauren, you do have other brushes, and I'm just like, so I'm gonna use Juicy on the cherry palette to help with blending, because I really want to make this kind of a cheerful look, because that's just kind of what I feel like I need today. Sometimes my makeup reflects what I feel like I need, because sometimes mental illness, I wake up in the morning and sometimes I feel like I can't get anything done, and it makes me really sad because I personally feel like I am Wonder Woman, and then other times I feel like someone has stolen all my power, and I'm like, what the fuck? So after I've blended this a little bit, or kind of brought it around town like so, I have to make some executive decisions, which, as we know, is very difficult. So what I might do is, because of the intensity right now, it would be good to use a lighter color like the Juicy, and kind of bring it down, bring the darker color down here. In art studies we call this unity. We want there to be unity, and not this dislocation and this detachment between the colors. Obviously it depends on what you're going for. Now, if I was going out for a really fun look, maybe I want it to look kind of dislocated or detached, but that's not what I want. I want it to look like I am I kind of have my shit together, even though I don't, and I don't want it to be too heavy either, because when it's too heavy, it kind of makes you look like a raccoon. And although raccoons are cute, and although I do have small raccoon hands, I would prefer to look like a, a slightly successful raccoon. I think another fun part about makeup, even for, doing fun, semi-loud makeup for professional settings, is that you kind of want to look that will scare away men you don't want to talk to. Because generally, in my experience, men feel like, unconsciously and implicitly, that your existence revolves around them. And if you're not doing things the way they think you should be doing, they will make comments about your appearance. They'll be like, why are you doing this? And it's like, because I want to, which the idea that you'd be doing something because you want to do it, it seems very preposterous and foreign to them. And it bewilders them, and then maybe it'll go away. So now that I've done some work, now I'm going to blend it out a little bit, because it just helps to do that. And I come in and I do all this nonsense right here with this brush. Really want to make it look like I was born this way. You don't want it to look like you added it. It's the same feeling I have with dyeing my hair. I want to make sure that when I dye my hair, it looks like I was born with these white colors in my hair. So after I do this, you notice that there's this part of my eyelid that is not covered yet. This is a style of eyeshadow that I do a lot because I just happen to like it, even though I know I need to mix things up a bit, is that you use that area to create a very big highlight. Now, a way that I can do that is by locating a brush around here somewhere and creating this highlight, this intense highlight, and it's very nice. Now I found this brush. This is another e.l.f. brush. I've had this one for 2 years. I know this is called it's a crease brush. It's just good for like going in there and adding stuff, but I also use it for detail work, depending. So I might go in with this pick a color here, a mixture of these two. I'm kind of heavily using this cherry palette because it's just, I really like it a lot. It's fun. Now I can also come in. It seems like I've kind of forgotten that my goal was to use oranges, so I kind of want to bring it back. And sometimes what I do is I'll actually kind of go boop 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 in different palettes. Like I did Juicy, Hot Spot on Cherry, and then I went to Still Shot on the Born to Run, and then I go in and I make it work. Like I said, it's just like painting. It's a lot like painting. So because you want it to make sense, you want it to blend well, you want it, like I said, you want to look like you were born with these fucking crazy ass eyes. After doing this, you just then you look, you make sure that things are blended the way you want, which I'm not even anywhere near done, because I like to make sure that the intensity around the creases is very important. You have, in art composition, art classes, if you're painting or drawing, art instructors will often say you need to make sure you think about lights and shadows. It's the same concept for eyeshadow. You want to think about where the darkest parts are and the lightest parts are, and you want to think about like why, when you look at those professional photos, it's like, why do they work so well? It's because they're remembering their lights and shadows. Because if you're, obviously when you're doing a very minimalistic look and using one color, that's cool too. There's reasons why that's cool, and I can get into that another time. I'm not going to get into that today. So I'm going to use this one color called Bang Bang on the Cherry palette. It's very pretty. It's a shimmery one. And then I'm gonna get right here, and I'm gonna go in like this. Now I can also maybe mix a little bit with this Baja over here on the Born to Run, and then add some Turn On from Cherry palette, and come in again, and because it's like I want it to be orange. Now sometimes I forget that I have the seashell, and there is a eyeshadow in here that might work. Actually, no, too dark. It's more, I see, like, again, I might go and consult my eyeshadows and then decide that it doesn't work, and then I just go back to what I'm doing. And like I have a lot it's kind of therapeutic to do this, really. Even though sometimes I think my brain wants to tell me that I don't have time, or that I need to be doing something else. I try to remember that self-expression is very important for my daily survival. It helps me, because see, trauma, the body takes a lot of trauma. And whether you've got trauma from sexual assault, or being bullied, or death-related events, regardless, your body took that trauma. So, like, when you use your body to express yourself, because, like, drawing is a full arm action. It's not just wrists. So when I'm doing makeup, I have to, I'm moving my arm a lot. It's not, physically arduous, but it can be, depending on whether or not you have, if you're very depressed, moving your body's hard. If you have chronic pain problems in your arm, it's hard. So, obviously, like, you're just putting, it's like artists, it's a lot of self-sacrifice, like, because you might be very tired after you do this, and that's okay, because, you've created something on your face, and that's really nice, I really, enjoy being able to use makeup as a way to manifest my soul on the outside, because I think I'm mostly a very sparkly, queer thing of light, and get a lot of dirt on me, and the makeup can be a reminder that it's okay, you're gonna get dirt on you, and it's gonna be okay. And I like that idea, that it's like, yeah, you know what, regardless, I'm gonna be okay. Now, when I was younger, and as someone who's on the spectrum, I'm fairly certain I'm on the spectrum. It's a back and forth process right now with diagnosis. I had a point. I don't remember. Again, I've never really made a video of me doing my makeup, so it's kind of new. Anyway, back to anything. So, now that I've kind of added this color here, I'm gonna go in to the corners now and add some darkness, because that's what is needed now. You gotta add some darkness. So you can appreciate the lights on your face. When I was younger, I didn't really like makeup. I thought makeup was dumb, mainly because I felt like I was being told to do it just because everyone else was doing it, which is, a thing that a lot of people experience, and I was like, I don't understand the point of doing it, because at the time it would make my nose run. It still does. Like, when I put a foundation on and stuff, it makes my nose run, and and then I also was just like, why would you do that when you have your actual face? So I used to be very internally misogynistic, and I mean, at the time, it had a lot to do with just the fact that I just didn't understand, because I was on the spectrum, I had a really hard time being empathetic, and I thought that you had to be truthful about literally truthful, like, think about it, literally, like, I thought, like, well, if I'm gonna do this, it's like, why not just show who I am? So I used to think people used makeup to hide their face. That was how I thought about makeup. And so I used to be kind of a dick and judge people for wearing makeup. And I'm not going to sit there and pretend like I didn't used to be a dick about it. Just like I used to be a dick about people who dyed their hair. But to be fair, there are people who dye their hair and then they don't practice self-care, and their hair looks like a very colorful, dried out trash bag. In which case, I want to put leave-in conditioner in their hair and be like, hey, take care of your hair. Take care of yourself. After I do these things, which I have to look in the mirror, make sure I like what I'm seeing. There's this great brush, again, that I got in an Ipsy bag. And right now I'm trying to figure out where the hell it is, because like I said, I like to misplace things often, because I am terrible about being like, hey, you have designated things for this. You should put the thing back where you found it. And I'm like, why on earth would I do such a thing? So while I try to find it, I'll think of something more constructive to add to this this wall of conversation. Oh, and I found it. So this is a neat brush I got. It actually seems to be related to Wonder Woman. I don't know why. I think it has Wonder Woman symbol on it. But it's by Luxie. It's called a detailed tapered blender, which I was very excited when I got this because I kind of needed a brush like this. And I didn't know I needed it. That's what I kind of like about the subscription bags, which currently I had to cancel because I'm poor. But when I get them, I really like it because, you know, like I said, sometimes you get things you didn't know you needed. And you're like, oh, wow, I didn't know I needed that. So I'm lazy and poor again. I don't have a proper brush cleaner. So sometimes I just use cotton things, and I'll just make sure that there's not any leftover makeup in there that will ruin my look for myself. And then I go in a little bit more hardcore, get a darker color, and then I get to really blend it in. Now what's exciting is that after I do this, I will use the blending brush, the other one, the one by e.l.f., to really, like, you know, again, use some highlights to really accentuate these dark creases. So right now it's all very, you know, you see here, it's very packed on heavily. And I'm actually not even liking the fact that it doesn't seem like my, doesn't seem like I have enough of shadowing right here on the very edges of my eye. You want to do that right around there because, you know, that's what adds to the intensity of what you're doing. You want that bit of darkness and intensity right there. And the same thing goes when drawing, you know, like I've always struggled with adding mid-lights and shadows to my drawings because it's like I'm worried I'm gonna, it's like, because sometimes it's like I don't understand where it's even supposed to go. But with my eyes, I actually have an easier time with this because it's just like, it's, you know, after you watch a bunch of tutorials, you kind of get an understanding of like why they're putting dark colors where they're putting them. And understanding how dark it should be depending on the time of day you're in. So I do this, and you know, like, there you go. So now that's there, and I will take the brush. See, I just put it in the damn cup. All right. Now, Miss Larn, what will you do next? I'll take this brush, right? You know, I'm gonna pick. I'll show you which. I should do the thing where I'm like, this is what I'm gonna do next. So you see here, I'm going to go up here, or actually I'm going to go right here first. Get this one, and I'm going to go right here. Right on the edges. Because then you get this nice tapered look. And then I'll add this color. Ooh boy. Yeah. And then I do it again on this side. Because it adds to the intensity of the shadow in the crease. Because you want the impression that your eyes are so intense that the depth goes on forever. Now, after doing that, if I feel like I might have accidentally erased some of that intensity, I'll go back in with a little bit of darkness just to make sure that I retain that that intensity that I want. And I'll blend with some other colors, you know, to get that. And sometimes, you know, like painting, much like painting, makeup is kind of like, you know, sometimes you have an idea of what you had planned on doing that day, and then something different happens, and that's kind of exciting, you know? You have to be flexible, because sometimes you will mess up, and let's just say you don't have time to fix it. Well, in that case, you can, you know, work with it. One of my painting teachers, Tim Ford, who works at App State, he's a fantastic artist, once told me, LaRue, don't be afraid to kill your babies. And that is something that I never forgot because he was pretty much telling me, hey, you're going to mess up and you can't avoid it. So you might as well just accept that you're going to kill your babies. But when I think in a way it's accepting that, like, hey, things aren't going to turn out the way you want to, so you might as well just, like, you know. So now that my makeup, my eyeshadow is pretty good, and I'm pretty happy with it, and I'm going to blend it out a little. I'm just going to do some, I might come in later with some highlights to go in the corners, but now I'm going to do the rest of my makeup. So yeah, I'm part of that makeup team that's team do foundation afterwards, because if you wait till afterwards, See, my nose is running. I don't know what it is. You can also do this where I can, like, what's cool about this stuff is that you can actually, like, take this with you when you go out. Like, you can put it in your purse, and it's supposed to be, like, it says, apply makeup can be used also anytime to refresh skin or at night before your skincare routine. So, like, you know, if I know I'm gonna be out, and this is, say, it's summertime or winter, maybe it's just really dry out. I don't know. It's whatever you feel like you need it for. I can add it again. And it's okay because it's not going to mess up my makeup. And that way, you know, it's like I'm preparing my skin for foundation. Now, I used to use powder foundation, and now I use liquid foundation. But what's nice about this is Juice Beauty. I use both of those because, like, my skin, I have keratosis pilaris on my cheeks. And so that's why my cheeks always look very rosy, because I have irritated skin, little skin bumps on this part of my face. I have it on my arms too. So, like, when I realized that I needed to adjust for my skin type, because I noticed earlier this year that it's like when I did my makeup, I wasn't happy with how my face was looking. I was like, I don't like that, you know, it's just not, I wasn't getting compliments on my makeup. And here's the facts. I know that I've done a good job on my makeup when I get a lot of comments about it. When I don't get a lot of comments, that means I didn't do a good job for my face. It means I wasn't thinking about my face. So this stuff is really neat because you can pack it on and make it very thick. So if you want to do, like, you know, tone changing makeup, like, you know, when people get the toners, like, I have a toner. I don't really understand toners. Like, this is the e.l.f. one, this is a purple one. I know you can get them in green and yellow, and it's to change certain tones of your face so that, you know, you can do stuff. But usually I just I only usually during the daytime put on one layer of foundation, because it's nice because it kind of retains that redness I already have. I try to, when I do daytime makeup, I like to retain, because I like to make a reference to the red, the pink's already in my face, because it's like, it's there, you know? And a lot of people just assume, I've had people assume that I'm already wearing makeup because of how pink my cheeks are anyway. So I'm just like, well, actually, you know, I'm not wearing makeup. It's like, it's just that I have irritated skin on my cheeks. So I like to kind of retain that natural pink, and this can be very, you know, translucent foundation that does what it needs to do. Like, it, you know, it gives you an even canvas to work from, and also, you know, it doesn't make your skin feel dried out. It's very soothing. Like, generally what I like about the Juice Beauty in regards to doing for foundation and primer is that it just makes my skin feel very soft, and it doesn't irritate my skin. Because when you have irritated skin already and you want to do makeup, you need to think about that. That's why, like, you know, drugstore makeup is fine. It's just make sure you're picking out products at the drugstore that say that that says that it's thinking of sensitive skin, because otherwise, you know, like I said, the texture of your skin is going to become more obvious. Like, I will say that it sucks, because, like, it becomes more obvious if you have irritated skin and you're using products that irritates it further. I don't like that. It sucks because, like, it means, you know, it's easier for people who have, you know, skin that doesn't have something like keratosis pilaris on it. So another reason why you want to wait to do your foundation after your eyeshadow is because you can kind of use it to create that, you know, before, because, like, I wait till the end to do things like wings, which wings are the worst thing for me. I have a very hard time with wings. You know, even though, like, I think I've learned that I'm probably doing my wings correctly, it's just that I think it looks so bad that I'm like, I don't even want to mess with them half the time. So, after I do that, I might decide to, you know, take this sparkly rainbow brush, this, you know, and then I have some setting powder by Tarte that I got in an Ipsy bag, and I happen to have this container that my grandma gave to me a long time ago, which is, it's kind of cute. I think it's supposed to be for talcum powder, but I use it to keep my setting powder in, for this situation. I actually have some other setting powder that I got while I was in France at a Sephora, because there's a French brand called Makeup Forever, and apparently they use it it's a very professional brand over there, so I was like, I'll try it out, because it was actually not that expensive. So then I'll go in like this, because the setting powder, especially the one by Tarte, it makes your skin, you can actually feel it, like, settling your skin, like whatever makeup you have on, and it smells funny. And it's you know, it works. It does what it needs to do. Make sure that the makeup is going to stay on your face. Some people, I think they call that process baking. I know a lot of makeup artists will put like a lot of setting powder right here on their face. I don't really do that, really. I've tried doing it. I don't think it's like entirely necessary, and I've talked to some professional makeup artists before that said that like, you know, it's kind of like you can do that if you want. It's not necessary. So after doing that, this is where the fun begins, and I got into contouring. I don't do like intense contouring because, to be honest, I already have, like, as I got older, I noticed that like my cheekbones became more prominent, and I actually have like, I got lucky. I know I did. I got lucky, and I already have like some natural contouring on my face. So I learned over time, because I started doing contouring like I thought I needed to do it, and I noticed it didn't make me look good. It just made me look like my face was very sharp, and I was just like, ooh. So I use concealers for contouring. I have concealers of varying, like this is my darkest one, that's my second lightest, and this is the lightest one. This is Makeup Forever. It's very light, like it makes me look like I'm made out of, like I'm a porcelain doll. So I have to use that, you know, I mostly use it at nighttime if I'm going out. I kind of, now see, this is one of those situations where I'm like, oh yeah, I've learned that it makes more sense to add, I do use blush as a contouring tool, because it's just like, well, if I want to make it look kind of natural, and then again, like I forgot that it's like, hey, you should add the darker part before you add the rest of it, and I always forget this. I use this brush right here. I got a whole, this is called the color, and I got this whole set. It was like a 20 brush set off of Amazon for $20, and they're actually really good brushes. They do what they need to do. So I do the thing I'm supposed to do. I add shadow where it needs to be, because like if I don't do any sort of, you know, dark value somewhere, and then I add too much highlights, it does make me look kind of like it you know, you just got to think about like unity. You have to make sure you're thinking about unity. If you don't think about unity, your face is gonna be very confusing. So it's, you know, in a lot of ways I would even say that art classes help you understand why you should make sure that you evenly distribute your mediums on your face. So, and what's nice about blush is like I make sure I use it sparingly. You know, this is a really nice light color by Tarte that I got in a Nipsey bag. I really like Tarte for I have a favorite matte lipstick by Tarte that I use, because I just, you know, they make a good product. So I do that. I'm trying to make sure I get into the habit of doing that, because I've been terrible about it. So my highlight and shadow sponge is very dirty. I need to wash it. Bad me. So I'm probably just going to use a normal blending sponge and start doing this number. You know, you gotta, I used to be very confused about these things. I still am. Honestly, I don't think I really know how to use these things correctly. I just know that they do work. And it's like, okay, I guess they work or whatever. So I can add several layers of a highlighter, because, you know, it's just all about the look that you want. See, my nose is running. See that? My nose is running because of the, my nose doesn't like foundation all that much. So, like, I have to, again, be thoughtful about this stuff. So that was the darkest color of my concealer. So what I'll probably do next is, sometimes I realize I have to add just a little bit down here on this jawline, or otherwise I look kind of like my face just went, like, dropped off. And because like I have to think about how light reflects on my face during the, like, without makeup. I have to do a lot of observing of my own face when there's no makeup, when the light is shining on it, to understand what I'm doing to it, so I don't like do something totally face changing that's gonna be confusing. But yeah, like I said, I just don't need to add it. Now, if you don't have that, you still need to work with the shape of your face, because like I have a very like face. If you have a round face, there are different ways to work with that, and that's why it's just like so important to find as many tutorials as you can where you see different people with different shapes of faces and skin tones to watch how they're doing it, so that you do it in a way that helps you feel like you. Because in my world, makeup, when you do makeup, I remember this guy with PBS, he has like a whole YouTube channel, and I remember he made a video about makeup, and he even does his makeup while he's doing the video, and he talks about all these makeup tutorials. And my favorite part is when he talks about this one YouTube makeup person, I can't remember her name, I'd have to find the video again, maybe I'll put it in the comments, where she says, you know, like, doing makeup makes me feel more distinct. And when he said that, I was like, yeah, that is what it feels like when I do makeup. It's like I'm making myself more distinct. And you are. I mean, it's kind of like tattoos in a way, you know, because tattoos, when you decide to put a tattoo on your body, it's a manifestation of yourself on your own skin that people can look at. After that, so since it's daytime, I might add like a touch of that really, the brightest one right here, this Makeup Forever. I'm going to use the Naked Skin Urban Decay. I got that recently because in general, I think I've really enjoyed using Urban Decay. I try to keep in mind, like I said, there's no ethical consumption under capitalism, but I try to be mindful of, you know, I mean, if there's a way I can buy makeup that works, that, because like makeup has recently become such an important part of like my mental health, that it's like, and as an artist, you know, I can tell you that, you know, you care about the products you're using when you're doing art. Like, when I'm doing, like, actual, like, traditional art, I get really picky about the materials I'm using. And it's like, you know, when you fall in love with a brand, because it does exactly what you need it to do, it's hard to let it go. It really is. You're just like, I don't want to let this go. And then, obviously, if a brand openly supported white nationalists and Nazis in America, I would have to stop buying it. So now, see, my face has these highlights and stuff, and like I said, I have another thing which I forget to use, and I got it when I got the other stuff. This is Makeup Forever. This is a soft light liquid highlighter, and it's kind of in a pink shade. So if I want to like make sure I'm not looking too, you know, intense, I can go in and add some of this on top, just a little bit, and on my forehead, because you want to make sure, and of course on my lip and on my chin, because this is where light tends to hit my face. And again, I do the same process as I did before. I just do a lot of blending, and it looks really nice. I really like making myself feel like you know, because I already, sometimes when I'm on my best days as the person I am, I already feel like a goddess, you know. But on the days where I'm not convinced that I can help the world because of how crappy I feel, I need to find a way to remind myself, and the best way to remind myself is by doing my makeup. That's why, you know, I don't want makeup to just be for people who like to present feminine. You know, it should be for anyone who needs that extra boost of feeling amazing. So after I've done this, so like, I think, you know, I've done a lot of work, and I feel like I need to blend a little. I got this one a while ago. This is a Lisa Frank, like, it's an angle poof brush. I don't know what to call them right now. I'm probably going to go in and try to make sure that this is blended correctly, so I don't look like an idiot. I don't even think I'm going out today, but I still want to make sure that I don't look silly. Because, like, sometimes it's weird, you know, you think for me, especially with how my face works, I think I've added just the right amount of, you know, that shadow value. But in reality, it's like, you know, I can just look at myself a little bit and be like, oh no, it looks like I've just, like, cut my face in half. And then I have to really, like, work on it, figure out what the fuck I did wrong. So, over time, I used to not do anything with my eyebrows. But over time, I learned, you know, it's like I said, unity. You need unity, and it's like, if you're gonna do it's like, if you're gonna do this with your face, that means you have to do something with your eyebrows, because the eyebrows don't look like they're part of the picture. It's like, you know, they're kind of, in regards to contrast and value, like they almost seem faded now, because my face, it has these you know, these shades and values on it. So what was neat is that in an Ipsy bag, I got this brow definer, and I was really glad I got it because, you know, like, I don't really know how to do stuff with my eyebrows. Because, like, I have really bushy eyebrows in general, so, like, I generally don't want to mess with my eyebrows too much until I learn what more to do with my eyebrows. But I try to, you know, at least try to darken them somehow, so that I don't feel like they're sticky, like they don't look like, because, like, I don't want them to look like they're not here, you know, because, like, I have very bushy eyebrows. I don't, you know, wax, see, it's already looking a little bit darker. It's nice. And see, the thing is, though, I want that nice fade look that people know how to do with their eyebrows. I don't know how to do those yet, though, because I don't, you know, even though it seems like, you know, very easy, I still just haven't really figured it out. So, like, I just want to add some, you know, like I said, I'm just adding some darkness to them so that at least they look like they're part of this look. And, I don't want my eyebrows to look like they don't exist. Because since they're already bushy, it's like adding too much of a value kind of makes it look like I might have painted them on. And I don't want that either. Like, you know, like, I'm like, look, I don't know what I'm doing with my eyebrows. I just want to make sure they don't look like they're not here. So after I try to do something with them, you know, I'm going to go in and try to make sure that they're blended okay, so I don't feel like an idiot. Because I get very particular about how I'm doing my makeup. I'm always worried that I did something too much or whatever. So I use this for my eyelashes too, because when I put mascara on, sometimes my eyelashes, because they're very long, they get very, like, they get stuck together, and I'm like, so I'm gonna, you know, and I think what I learned, because, like, on that eyebrow tone, there's another end that's like this, I learned that it's like, oh, I can use this for this too. Okay, so now that that's done, what's next? I have the fantastic privilege of having the Fenty Beauty Kilowatt Foil Highlighter Palette. I had to. I love Rihanna's makeup line. Now, I've been made aware that there are like people who make makeup and sell it on Etsy, and I haven't bought anything yet because it's just, not that I don't trust it, it's just like, I don't know, like I said, it's really hard, you know, because it's like you want to make sure, because, like, sometimes with, and I think of makeup the same, I've noticed that makeup has a similar trend with art supplies. The more money you drop, the better quality of product that it usually is. Like, it's sad, but it's true, because it's like, you have to think about the materials that are going to it. Like, for example, like cadmium red. When you buy a tube of cadmium red paint, there's a reason why it can be expensive, because cadmium is an element that, like, they're literally using an element from the periodic table to make that color. So the materials can make it, like, the materials they use to create this color or this product is expensive. So this is what it looks like. It's very neat. Now, I will say what kind of, I'm not sure if I can use the other shades, because, like, some of these shades are perfect for people who, you know, because as we know, when Rihanna made Fenty, like, it's such an important makeup line, because she made, you know, foundation colors and concealer colors for women, or people of color with dark, like, it actually suits the color of their fucking skin, because so many makeup companies have a million different shades of beige, and, like, you know, they only have like 3 colors for people who are black, or, you know, who are brown skin, and it's just like, what are you doing? Like, what, you think only white people wear makeup? So I haven't really been sure how to use these, like, now this blue one I'm very interested in, but I don't know when. I you know, I still have a lot of experimentation to do, so I tend to stick with these 3 right here, because, you know, my skin is very fair. I really like this one, this white one, a lot. Like, fucking love it. So sometimes, like, I do have brushes, you know, like, I think these are considered highlighter brushes that look like that, but, like, I sometimes just use eyeshadow brushes, because sometimes I really want that intensity, and then I use one of those fan brushes, this one, which is an e.l.f. brush. I use a fan brush to, you know, make it look more just natural. So I'm gonna go in, and I'm gonna, I love highlighter. When I found out about highlighter, I was like, I have to get into that, because, you know, sparkles as a person on the spectrum, sparkles are very stimulating for me, and they make me feel better when I have them, when I can look in a mirror in the bathroom. Let's just say I'm having a bad day and I'm out and about, but I go to the bathroom and I look at my face in the mirror and I'm like, oh, there's these really awesome sparkles on my face. It's beautiful, you know? So, I really like having these sparkles on my face. And I try to think about where I'm putting it. Sometimes I will add like a little bit of this middle one for my forehead, because you don't, like, again, it's all about unity. You want it to look like it's all together and not disconnected. After I do this and I really pack it on, I think there are some lines of makeup that make like a liquid one that, so you can add that intensity. You can also use it on your eyelids, which I'm very interested in that. After I do that, I get this brush out and I really go in there. I want to fan it, make it look like it's not, I want to make it look like I was born with the stuff on my face. So really get in there. I try to spread it around. Now, generally I've had like samples of highlighter. Like let me see if I have an example of that. Like I've had like Urban Decay samples of highlighter. Like, just I got Ipsy bags, or I got as samples because I bought some makeup. And I used those for a while, and I didn't have a problem with it. And then I had I bought a highlighter stick from Fenty that's like the confetti one, and I don't know where that is right now. I think it's in a makeup bag. And it's really fun, but I noticed that when I tried to apply it, like the stick, it would just kind of smear my foundation and stuff and the concealer, and I was like, that's not good. So I really wanted to invest in a highlighter palette. And you could say that I probably bought this a little bit on a whim, but it was just like, I want to, I'm going to get more, because like highlighters can come in lots of different colors and tones. And sometimes if you're going for a certain look, depending on the season or what your outfit is or whatever, like you want to be able to have a highlighter that reflects that look. So after this is all said and done, like, I still feel like my eyebrows are not dark enough, and I might fix it, I don't know. Alright, so now we're almost to the end. This is when I add things like mascara. So I really I saw this and I kind of wanted it, because it says Man Eater. It's by Tarte. Really like it. Because I used, again, like, when I started my makeup journey, I didn't even use mascara, because I was like, I don't need mascara. And that's really what I thought. And I mean, really, in some ways, you can say, yeah, you don't. It just depends on the look you want. It depends on what feeling you want to convey. And for me, I want to make it look like my eyes are burning into your soul. So I like to use mascara to complete my look, because mascara adds that definition that I'm looking for. Now, I will say that what would be great is if I could finally get a handle on eyeliner. Not that I can't apply it, it's just that I can't figure it out what it is, it's just like, I just noticed that it's like, dude, it's not what I want it to be, I just feel like it's the opposite of what I want it to do, and then it makes me not want to use it. And I have it in all different colors, like purple, green, and I like to experiment with those things, because like, it's fun, because you can make a casual look using green eyeliner. I did it when I first got the Born to Run palette. Like, I did an orange and green eyeshadow look for when I went to the art museum in Richmond, and I really liked it. And I want to do that again. But I also, made me feel like I looked like a carrot, even though, like, it was still good. I don't care. It was a good early fall look. Now, mascara can sometimes end in disaster for me, because like, I'm right-handed, so like, I don't want to use my left hand to. I have issues applying wings and mascara to the side of my face, because it's like so counterintuitive to what I feel like I'm doing. It takes much like painting and drawing, you can't rush. Because if you rush, you'll get things that you don't want. And unlike painting, I mean, I can erase it using makeup remover, which, by the way, for makeup remover, you can buy like a 2-pack of this on Amazon for $17.99. I got a little sample bottle of it in a Ipsy bag. Really like this stuff. It's called Neogen, and it's very like natural, but like it's crazy how like it's very like it's strong in that like it kind of like I can go and it erases my makeup and it doesn't irritate my skin. Because like again, I have sensitive skin because of the keratosis pilaris on my face, and like if I use really rough makeup remover, it makes my skin burn, and you know, I don't, that's unpleasant to deal with, you know. So this is, like I said, I got 2 big bottles of this for $17.99 off Amazon. So like, if, you know, like there's a lot of ways you can try to like, you know, think about, you know, it's like if you really want to invest in this as a hobby, you know, I strongly recommend like finding ways to, you know, like I said, think about what your needs are based off of your skin and skin tone, and like what colors you want to use to convey your personality. And you know, like right now I'm trying to figure out, I don't even know where my usual lipstick is. I have some like normal lipstick. This is it's called, this one's called Peyote, but, and I bought it, I haven't been crazy about it because I kind of like this one more. This is called Gubby. Yeah, this is called Gubby. Really like this one because my lips, sometimes I've learned that I don't need to accentuate them a lot, because otherwise it kind of seems out of place with my own face. So sometimes I just use stuff like this because it's just very light, but it still does what I want it to do, where it completes the look. Like, because sometimes, like, I have a hard time with lipstick, because sometimes it's like, you know, I'm drinking stuff, I'm eating, and it's just, if you, like, use the matte lipstick, and then you've been drinking or eating, like, your mouth just looks kind of funny, and you're just like, oh. So I really like, you know, just, like, very typical lipstick, because, like, you know, if I mess this up, or if I've been eating, I can go into the bathroom real quick afterwards and just fix it. Like, it doesn't, and then I don't have to potentially mess up, like, my whole lip line because of something like that, and feel kind of like, oh, God. It's like, what happened? So, I may choose at the end of my makeup time to maybe make sure I add an extra bit of highlight to my brow, and I will use I can use eyeshadow, but I like to use this now too, because, you know, I mean, it's gonna really add the look I'm looking for. Oh, and I want to do the right here, because I have that intensity that makes me feel like I can kick everyone's ass. And I want it to connect, and don't worry, I'll blend, because I don't want it to like look like I drew a line from my eyebrow to my cheeks, because that's, you know, obviously not what I'm looking for. So after I do that, I consider this look done. I don't have the best lighting in here, because like currently I'm in the middle of everything. Like, I'm moving down to the basement, so this isn't even like my makeup vanity. Like, it's my sister's. It just happens to be here. And since I'm in the middle of moving stuff and everywhere, you know, if I want to do my makeup, you know, I just kind of borrow it, and I make sure I clean it up after I use it. And like, because, you know, I don't want to see, you know, I'm not trying to take over it. I just, you know, I'm borrowing it, because, you know, makeup vanities are important. Alright, so now, this is great. You can get a 2-pack of this. You can also get like little bottles like this, you know, if you really, because the All Nighter by Urban Decay is actually really, it's good stuff. It keeps your makeup in place really well, because, you know, something that I've learned is if I forget to use it, and like when it's hot, and if you're getting warm, like you're getting warm by things that are happening around you, because you're moving around a lot and stuff like that, you want to, when I learned there's even patterns, you're supposed to go like down, up, side, side, and you can even go cross, because you want to make sure you really get it on you, because you want that makeup to stay all, like, for how long you're gonna wear it. Then I might shake my face a little bit. And then I'll let down my hair. And voila. Wow. This is really neat. I didn't know how this is gonna look because, like, I don't really like that makeup mirror. It's got a lot of, it's the halogen light. So this is how I look today. There are parts maybe I might want to blend real quick just because I don't really, not crazy about how, like, intense that is right there. But yeah, I don't use wings very often because wings are, like, okay, if I don't have time, because, like, the thing is I get really, really particular about wings if I feel like I didn't do it just the right way, because, like, I really need better, like, eyeliner for it. The only one I really like that I got in a makeup bag is, if I can find it. Oh, no, not that one. Because some of these brands I would actually, like, recommend, because it's like, oh no, this is I don't know where it is right now. So yeah, this is not really a makeup tutorial. It's just I felt like it might be fun to make a video of me making makeup, and doing my makeup, and you know, because, like, it's really fun to be able to, oh, there we go. Yeah, that's right. That's what we want to see. So this is what it looks like when you have some good lighting. So yeah, this was my video. I don't even know if I'm going to post this on the internet or anything, because it's kind of long. It's like an hour. It takes about an hour for me to do my makeup, because, you know, I want to make sure I'm doing it just right. And, anyway, remember, there's no ethical consumption over capitalism, that trans people cannot be erased, even if you try to erase them, that, systemic racism is a thing, that we can use our white privilege to deal with this stuff if we have the courage to, and that makeup is not a lie, and that men need to learn to use femininity as a way to discuss their feelings. Anyway, have a good day.